This is different. This is a very, very different view. I don't know that I'm going to like it, but we'll see. So how are you guys? Good, I hope. I've just filmed this whole thing and I'm not using it. I've decided to do it again. I'm not feeling great today. It's not an illness. It's just me feeling a bit... And partly it's to do with YouTube. And partly it's to do with working too darn much. And partly it's to do with this little passenger on my eye. Because I know every day that goes by is another day closer to oblivion. Yes. And I did have a nice cup of tea. I had one of these. Gorgeous. I've drunk it. So, got nothing. Well, actually, I tell a lie. Got a little bit of water. That's all I've got. So, what have I done? Put it down. Let's see. So I did this earlier, so we'll have to do it again. So I already ripped it off. And we've got a little quotey. It says, where we're going, you don't want to take a child. Trust me. Reef Karga said that, and I'm sure that he is Pollock Creed. So yeah, I did, in my last video, I did do like a couple of little stories from when I was young. But I won't tell you them because, you know, I'm not feeling it today, really. I need a bit of a break. And I'm going to get one because I'm going shopping tomorrow. Yeah, I've worked really hard this last week. Seriously. Like, seen hardly any daylight. All I've seen are these 4 walls. And it's getting a bit too much. And I think the actual reward from YouTube is being very miserly and rubbishy at the moment. So it's not filling me with a lot of enthusiasm. And what else? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, when I did have a little break from working, I hoovered the floor, emptied the hoover, made beds. You know, got to give video like food in a minute. So yeah, I had a bit of enough, really, if you know what I mean. Just piling on at the moment, that's all. So, the joke of the day. This morning I saw a lady talking to her cat. Poor woman thought the cat understood her. I got home later and I told my dog, and we had a real good laugh about it. It's true though, isn't it? Why do people who are dog people think that dogs are clever, and people who are cat people think that dogs are dumb, and that cats are the ones that are clever? And it's true that, isn't it? I'm really croaky. I don't know why. Probably because I didn't sleep that well. I was very wide awake when I got into bed, and it took ages to get off, and it was hot. So I put the aircon on for a while to cool the room down. I managed to get off in the end, but by the time I woke up this morning, I thought, it's not really enough sleep, and that just keeps happening. And what happens when that happens is it builds up. It builds up until in the end I have a catch up, and I think it's approaching. As part of the reason I feel a bit, you know, it's because I'm approaching the catch up. So I'm fully expecting for about sort of 7, 8 o'clock, I'm just going to crash and just really need to go to bed or something. But maybe not. We'll see. But it has been really hot today. Really hot. The heat wave has started. It has indeed. But it's going to get hotter, apparently. No happy medium in this country. You know, I've got, or you've got, it's too hot. There's nothing in the middle. Very little in the middle anyway. And it can change. Our weather, as you guys across the pond say, can turn on a dime. Really can. In the same day even, you know. So yeah, this is closer than you've seen me before. And I'm not sure I like it, but we'll see. When I watch it back, I might go, doing that again. Look at that chin. You know, that's possibly what I'm going to say, but you know, we'll see. It's, you know, we'll see. But yeah, and also this here passenger, that's really getting on on my knives, on my nerves quite a bit. I just want it gone, but you know, I've got to wait. And then I've got to have it done, which doesn't help. Why can't we have things like Star Trek, you know, where they can just beam it off? Wouldn't that be good? Like just gone. I think they'd done that by now, wouldn't you, really? So I always used to say about when I was younger, about when I was pregnant, why can't they just beam it out like they do? Could do that on Star Trek to say, well, beam it out. Wouldn't that be good? You know, no pain, no stretch mark. Well, yeah, that probably would, but no cuts, no nothing. Just beam it out. Beam it up. Get this thing out of me. I know that's what most people say. I didn't get there though. My labours were weird. I had a cesarean for the second one. I was asleep. And the first one, I was numb from the chest down, so I didn't feel it. So to this day, I've never felt proper childbirth. And, you know, I had a very lucky escape, I think. It wasn't on my to-do list to actually feel that anyway. Not on my bucket list. Sorry about the mess. So you don't normally see this angle. That is my printer with my stuff on it. I don't know if you can see that bucket. Well, there's something in the corner there which has probably got my bag on it. I don't know. But yeah, you don't normally see this particular angle of the yarn room. But as you can see, there are cubbies all along. And there's Grogu. But there's cubbies all along with yarn in. And over on that wall, there's yarn on that wall. But not like these. They're more shelves that are more narrow, so they'd only hold a little bit, really. But it's quite a lot of yarn in here. But never the yarn I need, funnily enough. You know, as I kind of peruse in here, I think, oh, I'm going to do this tutorial. What do I need? None of this. You know, I need solid colours. And I do have a few solid colours in here, but I don't, it's never the colours I need. It's never the yarn I need, you know. It's just one of those things in life, isn't it? We can have the biggest stash imaginable, but we don't have the yarn we need for that particular project. It's just life, isn't it? That's just the way it goes. So I dyed my hair today. Still got the dark bit. It's lighter than it was, but I can't ever get rid of it. I don't know why. It's just undyeable. Not that I use a particularly strong thing, it's just washing. You know, washing kind of thing. And it's, yeah, it needs straightening. It's a bit blah, really. But, yeah, I kind of looked in the mirror and I thought it's going to be any day. I didn't really need to do it now. I could have left it, but I thought, you know, try and brighten myself up a little bit, really. As I had to wash it anyway. Oh, I'm sorry I'm not myself today. I'm really not. And I think I've just done too much for very little reward. That's the annoying thing. And it's going to be worse because it's sunny. You know, people don't really want to watch. People don't really want to watch me. But, you know, I think one other thing that kind of brought it home to me was working on these old videos the way I have. And some of them are not old. They're just a little bit old. And I had occasion to see the comments. And I think, where's that person gone? They used to comment all the time. Are they still watching, just not commenting, or are they gone? Where's that person gone? And, you know, it's sort of disheartening a little bit. Try and comment if you're if you're there. Try and say hello. Because it's nice to hear from you and to know that you're there. I know that there are numbers, but we are not numbers. Do you remember that programme? What was it called? The Prisoner. I am not a number. Patrick McGowan. You'll probably say, no, I'm too young for that. Because, you know, I did used to see programmes that were beyond my years. As I said before, my mum and dad didn't really send me to bed I think they sent my brother and sister to bed, but I was the one that just stayed up until, back in those days, there was no, like, 24-hour TV. And this little, you turn the TV off and it would just shrink into a dot. It'd go like, boom. And there'd just be this little dot, and then the dot would disappear. And it would be like, it's gone. There's nothing else on. It'd be quite sad. What are we going to do now? That sort of thing. So yeah, my dad used to sort of have me cuddled up into him, falling asleep on him while that telly was on. And that's kind of how things were for me. But you know, one time, funnily enough, the TV went on strike. Not the TV, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? All these little cabinets in the corner going, no, not having it. It's off. And, no, what I mean is, the TV companies went on strike and there was nothing. There was no TV. So just a screen that was, you know, due to circumstances beyond our control. There's nothing, you know. And so it was, ooh, what did people do before there was a telly? You know, they read books, they played games. So Mum and Dad and myself started playing Scrabble. Me and Dad played cards, and Mum as well sometimes. And we read books and we played lots of games. And all of us said, we don't really want the telly back. We had so much fun and we enjoyed it, enjoyed each other's company, enjoyed playing and all that stuff. And we said, when it comes back on, let's not watch it. You know, we just enjoyed it so much, listening to music and just connecting. But you know what, it come back on. And then, of course, Coronation Street, Crossroads and all that was back on. So it all went back on because of that. And then, you know, my dad was watching Out of Town and all the programmes that you like, The World at War and all the stuff that he used to watch. And then I was getting all the kids' programmes back on again. So that was the end of that. But for the month or two, or maybe longer, whole summer perhaps, there was no telly. And it was a bit like, what was that, you know, the cable guy. Somebody killed the babysitter. It was true. Once it was gone, we had our own entertainment to make. And it was fun. We really did say, let's not watch it when it comes back. This is so much better. And we all felt so much closer because we weren't just sitting there looking at a light box in the corner. Having said that, don't switch off. Don't switch off. But, you know, it's weird, really. I gurgled. So, look, don't look at the trends. So, does any of you remember when the television went on strike? The little box in the corner. No. But does anyone remember that? Or is it just, am I that old that it's only me? Don't say. But yeah, obviously you guys across the pond probably didn't have such things. But, you know, we only had 3 channels in those days. BBC One, BBC Two and ITV. That was all there was at that particular time in life. Long before Channel 4, Channel 5 and then Sky and all of the rubbish that we have on today. Because we have 400, 500, 600 channels of absolute pelt, to be honest with you. What do I watch the most of the time? ITV. It was true. To ITVX when I don't see it at the right time. BBC. That's what I watch most of the time. We pay all this money for Sky. But pretty soon we're going to be watching the Dutton Ranch though, because that is another episode today. So that'll be 3 on the planner, and that's just not enough. You know, we'll get through that, and then we'll have to wait a week, and I can't be doing with that. So we're just going to wait until it builds up. But we're still ploughing through Marshalls, not really keen. We're watching it because we've started and we've gone this far. But it's really not a Yellowstone, is it? It's just not the same. Anyway, I'm talking all this telly stuff when, you know, I told you how much it was great without it. But, you know, well, and Gary always says I'm a bit of a telly addict. And he's not wrong. He isn't. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off and upload this and see just how bad this looks close up. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.